Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV. Jeff Lewis, the Jeff Lewis After Show that we have some insanely good news about. We're going to start off with a Hollywood House Lift season finale recap. I want to hear what you think in comments. We're going to chat about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I've gotten over the last 3 or 4 days a little bit of some 90 Day Fiance, so I'm dying. So much to chat about. Get comfortable in comments. Thank you so much for joining live. It is always more fun to get comfortable in comments, but the replays are just as fun because you can comment along and read the live chat in the bottom right-hand corner. So let's get started. Of course, I will read comments when I can and questions at the end if we have time for it. Okay. Hollywood House Lift, 10 episodes, season 2. It was called The Finish Line for obvious reasons. Most of it was, so something the other day, I forget if it was on the show or on a commercial break, what have you, because he obviously says some commercial break info too. Something about his contract for season 3. I think they have to tell him by May. He said Amazon can take a while. I think he said between March and May, he'll know if there's a season 3 because he has to know. Because as you know, this happens all the time. Think about the Kardashians. It started off on the E channel, which I loved because I love satellite or like we have or cable recording. It's just so much easier. But then when I guess whatever contract negotiations, they end up going to Hulu. So basically he's saying they have until May to tell me if Amazon Freevee in particular is going to pick up for a season 3. And if we agree on all the terms, money, celebrities, blah, blah, blah. If not, it gives me time to go shop it around somewhere else. So I like Amazon Freevee. I think he seems to be happy. He seems to think they've given him money. They've given him creative control. They don't seem to, want to push him down. I did like in the finale, obviously they're wrapping up. They were the biggest, I don't know, maybe Anthony Anderson's the biggest backyard, but that was 2 seasons. The biggest interior that they did was Christina Ricci with showing maybe 2 bathrooms they did, the kitchen, obviously. Clearly they end it with MJ coming in as the realtor that's either going to list it for her. But she said, I was kind of surprised on this low price. I thought LA, I don't even know what city it's in, but I'm assuming it's in the LA area, right? But in 2024, I just figured this huge house with all this private backyard that's, very rare and stuff. Where's my numbers? Oh shit. With not doing anything more, MJ said in this market, we could list it for 1.4 million. But if we do the $100,000 of more work that it needs, it could be listed for over 2 million. That's not even a question. I would beg and borrow and steal $100,000 in order to get the extra money needed to put in for the foundation, the heating, all the unpretty stuff of putting a house on the market, right? To make that much difference. That is like saying it's a no-brainer to make $500,000 more dollars profit on this house. So what I wish they would have said though is, where is she living now? Did she already buy another house? I guess they don't have to tell us, but I was just kind of curious. They clearly moved out of the house. They talk about and they bring in his former long-term house manager, Nancy Cook. She is no nonsense, but I love that she's also just, Jeff even gave her a hug. He literally hugged her. He said, I never do this, but like, I've missed you. I think it is so important for him to have like stability. Clearly, we know he lost his mom at age 18. He talks about his grandma Patty being a huge, huge part of his life, how much he made time for her, going up to visit her every weekend, taking care of things. He's very clear that Aurora, what did he call her? Would you want to be called a sympathy situation by your boss? No. But what he says is Aurora drives me nuts. It's like she asks questions, she does this, she does that. But she took care of my grandmother without fail when nobody else would. And I am forever indebted to her. I think he even said she drives him bonkers. Anyways, I thought it was really good. Leah Black was on. They seemed to have a little coffee chat, a little mention of stew. I love that she had sweetener in her purse. I mean, I see you, Leah. Doesn't matter how much you have. If you want to make sure you always have sweetener, stick it in your purse, because if you're a person that is particular about the yellow, the pink, or the blue, or the green, I think is stevia or real sugar, you want to know that you have it when it's ready. And I think she's a big sweet tea or a tea drinker. So I think that's why she wanted that. But I am so interested in this 20 question or list, whatever training manual that she had for her husband, Roy. And it was literally a physical thing that he like had to read. I love that he is the attorney in the family, but she's like, these are the things you need to abide by in our marriage. And I think she said they've been married since 1996. So it sounds like things are going well. What else? They did show us Sparkles. We got to meet her and the mural that she made for his daughter. It's mermaids and a castle and lots of butterflies. I liked Stu's idea. I thought it was super sweet. He wanted to have sort of like a 3D, or would it be 40? 40 if you can touch, right? He wanted to have the mermaids have some fake hair on it. That way she could actually braid the hair. I sort of loved that idea. Then they talk about the kitchen design of Jeff's new house. They show the new house. I love that they showed the renditions or what it's gonna look like. And I sort of love that he kept those stained glass, like arched windows in the living area. Like it just kind of brings me back to old Flipping Out. I felt like, what's the house? Crap, did I write it down? Valley Vista. I felt like he always said that was a long-term home for him. I thought it was a very different design. If he is loving this house and he's calling it his long-term house, I sort of love that he kept that touch on there, because I see Jeff as being so opposite of my design style. Like I'm so traditional. I'm so like whatever I think French country is, like pretty, like flowers, like clean. He is very modern and clean, but I think he's becoming a lot more comfortable and stuff too. I think he likes the nostalgia of those windows. So I thought it was really cute. They ended with Jeff and Shane, Megan, her maybe former assistant, I'm not sure, Jamie, Andrew Coleman, Tyler having this lunch or dinner. It was very sweet. They were talking about Andrew Coleman and fighting his cancer. So I'm assuming, does anyone know what month they finished? Oh, October or November. I think they finished recording, filming. So that's only 2 or 3 months. Wait, what? And it's already on air? Wow. They must edit as they go, right? Seems like they finished editing or filming in October, November, because I think Megan talked about wanting to go on some trips and stuff then. So that's only a few months ago that they were talking about Andrew Coleman and his cancer battle. So continued prayers go up to him. I haven't heard an update. He hasn't been on Jeff Lewis Live recently, but I also don't know that when he was on last, if he gave us a personal update. You know what I mean? I felt like I remember a lot of talk about the awesome bike thing that he was doing around the world or something. Anyways, let me check a little. Dolphins girl Leah Black was a juror on the Kennedy rape case where Roy was the defense attorney. They met after the trial. Oh, that's interesting. I did not know that, how they met. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, that's sweet. Mabu, love kids being kept kids. My 12-year-old daughter still loves her cuddles. Don't get me wrong. Loves her phone, but she's a 12-year-old not trying to be 16. That's very true. And I'll tell you, from having 4 daughters, 12 is about the turning point. I mean, 13, 14 is when they really start loving their friends and the phone a lot more sometimes. Okay, let's talk about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. There has been some talk, some rumors. I think it's been, squashed now that off the show, Kyle Richards and her friend, best friend, whatever, Morgan Wade, were having some issues because apparently Morgan Wade scrubbed her Instagram of any pictures of Kyle Richards. I don't know what the truth is. I haven't paid much attention to it. That I saw something on page 6 or something that I sort of believe that Morgan Wade was doing that for her another upcoming video, a music video. I would think if you're doing a music video, you could make sort of a fake Instagram and take, I don't know, digitally take off some, I don't know how all that works. It seemed weird to me. Beverly Hills episode 14. Crystal, I guess she's had high blood. It was confusing to me. Let me know in comments. Did Crystal have a current knowledge that she has high blood pressure? Has she had another instance of this before? Did it come on with all the zigzaggy and them going up this road to this beautiful church in Spain? She's definitely said they've had family history of blood pressure. It sounds like they quickly got an ambulance. She quickly trusted Anne Marie, the nurse, to take over, not the anesthesia doctor, to help her until the ambulance got there. And then she was perfectly fine and ready for that dinner that they had later where they, had the, what's it called? The rice. What's it? Did I write it down? I've had this at a hotel resort in Cabo, and it was so good. What's it called? The rice thing, y'all. Somebody tell me in comments. The rice with the seafood, whatever that is. That's this father-son duo that were the chefs that Sutton was after, Garcelle was after. I was so here for it. The moment, though, in the church with Kyle and Sutton, they seem to have some moments, but I'm not going to forget that when Kyle Richards was just on Jeff Lewis Live last week, or today's Thursday, earlier this week? No, last week when it was a lot of Bravo people. This week? Oh my God, the days literally fly together. When Kyle and Sutton were on together, when Kyle was on, I got the vibe that she's really not that close with any of the actual housewives anymore. Even though Anne Marie is her neighbor down the street, I don't think they're really good friends. That 3-minute shopping spree, what did y'all think of that? I mean, thought it was kind of weird. Like, was it really 3 minutes? I felt like they were in all these different stores and I just couldn't figure out what it was. They were shopping for fans. They were shopping for jewelry. They were shopping for, I couldn't even figure out what the hell they were doing. It was a little bit weird. It's hard to watch the way Beverly Hills is edited and put together. And then just the night before, I watched Vanderpump Rules, which was so different, so sexy. I know it's a different vibe and I love that, but even the relaunch, whatever it's called, the new Real Housewives of New York was edited and presented just so different, so much better than this Beverly Hills. I don't know. Erica was super drunk. Didn't expect her to be super drunk because I really thought I don't know. I don't think I thought she was sober, but I just think she thought she had a moment last year where or season before, where she had that argument, whatever, negativity with Garcelle's teenage sons on the show. And she said it was either a combination of alcohol and she had maybe mixed it with some medication that she shouldn't have been taking. I don't know, but it was crazy. I'm going to say this word wrong. What is erudites? Does anyone know what that word is? I had never heard of this word. I guess Sutton invited a friend that she used to dance with or know, and then I guess he invited these other friends. I was sort of confused. Am I the only one that was confused by this? Or was I half watching? Was I eating dinner and half listening? I don't even know what it was. I'd never heard of the word. I suspect Sutton is very smart. Academics are very important to her. I suspect her children are highly educated and that she was too. I just never heard the word. I don't even know why somebody had to be described. Why couldn't it be an intellect or a scholar or an academia? I don't know. Erudites? I feel like it was pronounced differently than that too. I'm definitely not one, right? I'm definitely not a scholar. I got through college in 4 years, bam, mini semester, summer 1, summer 2, worked a full-time job. I just got that crap done. I was not into going to school forever and ever and ever. I don't understand why they kept talking about, and I've seen this online. So my mom wanted to be cremated and we followed her wishes, even though at the very end when she was sick, she said, look, if you don't like this, then I'm going to be passed away. Or, she had cancer, so we knew she was passing. sadly. So she said towards the very end, "Look, I've always wanted to be cremated. Your dad, we buried. So if you change your mind and this is what you and your brother want to do, do it. I'm not going to be here to argue with you." But we did have her cremated and we split up, I guess, evenly. It's been so long ago now, 5 years, and obviously an emotional time. I remember picking up the bag. So it's almost like a bag, from like Louis Vuitton, and the contents are inside of there. And we spread her ashes a year later on the anniversary on the beach. Talked about this recently because the wind was coming up in January. I probably have ashes still in my skin somehow. But anyways, I think Merce was probably obviously a friend of hers. If she got everyone's talking about the amount of Merce in the Ziploc bag. Like, was that a whole body? Was it a foot? Was it a leg? I don't know that we need those details. Like, it's gross. I think if she was close enough to him, then either he put it in his will, I just don't even know how he passed away, or the family realized you're close enough to him. We want you to have a piece of him. I thought it was very emotional and raw that Sutton was like, my dad was cremated and I've lost in all the moves that I've had, I've lost him, the physical cremated remains of my father. And so this was really emotional to her. And it ends that way with her crying. I mean, just sobbing. And Kyle comes in. So I would think with this episode, her and Kyle had turned a corner and things were better, but I don't know, not based on her being on Jeff Lewis Live recently, right? Oh my God. Paella, that's what it's called. Paella. Thank you, Tracy. Isn't that crap delicious? I mean, I guess it's rice with seafood, right? I mean, I don't know. Mayboo, I feel for Sutton. It must be so hard to keep all that proving yourself at the best for everyone. Everything. Yeah. Trust me, I'm well aware how energy draining and emotionally draining it can feel to try to prove to people that, want to believe the worst in you, right? Thankfully, I think we are a group of people that want to believe the best in people, and not that we're, delusional or not realistic, but, nobody is perfect. And I just think that whenever you want the best out of people, then maybe they give you their best. That's getting deep. Anyways. K-Boo, Sarah, did you explain to Jeff how you weren't the one touring Monroe's school? He made it very clear he never believed any of those horrific rumors. I won't go into the details of our conversation. It was so good. I'm so thankful that he reached out to me and let me say my side and let me apologize directly to him for reaching out to his friends for products and prizes for my live event. I explained to him, it was like a lightning bolt hit me on that Friday when I learned that he had said that on the radio. It had never crossed my mind. Call me forgetful, call me whatever, but also nobody along the way had said, "Oh, Jeff doesn't like this stuff. Are you sure?" Because trust me, I very much did not represent myself. I absolutely said, "This is Sarah from Texas." And also my event planner was giving them all the rest of the information and handling it after he told me how to DM with them. So, or what to DM with them. And they offered all these amazing prizes and goodie bags for the attendees of my party, my live event, whatever it was. Anyway, so I'm just so thankful that he let me apologize and explain myself that I absolutely didn't do it with a bad intention at all. And we cleared up some other things. We have an understanding moving forward of some things he doesn't want me to talk about. And some of that is stuff that was news to me, but it's also news to him of some things that are ongoing. And I will let him discuss that if he chooses to or not. But anyways, it was a very good conversation moving forward. So it was so good. Okay, let's get into the show, the after show. Today, Todrick Hall. So I'm sort of waiting. So at night, don't forget the Jeff Lewis. Oh God, what do they call it? The Jeff Lewis video. It's blue or red. Oh my God, I'm forgetting. Anyways, it goes up around 7 or 8. It's, there's still some issues with the app. I wish it would do a push alert to let you know whenever they put up the Jeff Lewis live video because it is different times sometimes. But I do want to watch that tonight and see Todrick Hall's t-shirt because I don't remember if you could see his maybe it almost sounded like, didn't it sound like to y'all like he took a shirt off and this chump t-shirt or something that he had made was on? Like he knew, and I remember this, Jeff always tells new guests that are on, new co-hosts, hey, if you come on for a second time, you're considered a chump now. And as we know, he considers chumps his inner circle friends, co-hosts of the show, co-hosts of the Jeff Lewis After Show. And he calls his audience, his listeners, chumps, right? So that's where our nickname came from Pina about over a year ago, calling us chumpettes, which means like little chumps. You know what I mean? So it was Todrick Hall and Joey Zalzik who were on together, Real Friends of Hollywood, Real Friends of WeHo on MTV. Watch it. I really liked it. It doesn't sound like it's going to come back for a season 2, or if it does, it's going to come back in a different way. But did Jill Zarin, I don't think we talked about this yesterday. Did we hear that Jill Zarin, that long list of people that was at the GOAT, was Joey Zalzik one of them? Joey Zalzik is a huge influencer on Instagram and TikTok. He's on all the time, lots of stories saying what he's doing, working out, what he's eating. Even when he went on that family vacation to the safari, he was still posting all the time. So he does not take time off necessarily. So if he was off social media for maybe he had banked some stories. Okay, never mind. Maybe you can like bank stories and put them out. I don't even know. Y'all tell me in contents. Tell me if that's what they were going to do. If he was on this GOAT show and you don't think, you think it was another Joey. I swore she said Joey Zalzik. Okay, Melanie says she doesn't think it was Joey Zalzik on the GOAT. It was another Joey. And did we clear this up? Did she say what network or when it launches? Like I heard about it a long time ago because the GOAT was coming out, the one about the moon that Tom Schwartz was on. Obviously, Tom Sandoval was on the one that, the Dance Moms girl. Oh my God. Big, huge, big bows, whatever her name was on. I mean, I can't even keep up with all of these. Paola was on it from 90 Day Fiance, Chris Cooper says. Paola is on it. Wow. Joey says he's filming a show. Well, that's interesting. Now, I did hear him say something about that. But the GOAT already finished. So many reality shows. Oh my God. JoJo Siwa. Yes, Melanie. JoJo Siwa. Love that. I love that y'all know JoJo Siwa. Did y'all used to watch Dance Moms? Oh my God. I was obsessed with her. She was so stinking cute. She's I don't even know how rich that girl is now. So rich. Okay, they start off the show talking about Speedos, how they're expensive. Joey gives us a great lesson, which if you follow Joey Zalzik, you will see him in the 5-inch seam bathing suits. Definitely, it's a no-no. So I think there's a fine line. There's Speedos for your ultra thin twinks, like on a sexy singles guys trip vacation. Then if you're married or in a relationship, maybe the 5-inch seam is good for guys. And then there's the board shorts that apparently is unacceptable to all of them. So I don't know. Or maybe I feel like Todrick is more conservative. I don't know. I wonder how old Todrick is. He said his boyfriend is 30 years old today. I don't really know. But they're all going to Cabo together. It's become this huge trip, very similar to last year, except Jeff says he won't have a partner or a date with him, and he won't have a nanny. But I don't know if he had a nanny last year. I don't know. Seems like Grandpa and Grandma were there, and I don't know that he said Grandpa and Grandma are coming this year. I don't remember. Anyways, he confirmed the big announcement that I did not get to listen to Andy Cohen live today. I was on the phone with a friend, but somebody DM'd me. Shout out to the person that DM'd me. It was only one of you. Y'all, only one of you sent it to me. But that Channel 102, what I've been complaining about for a long time, Jeff Lewis Extended will now be the name starting Monday, February 5th. So now if you're in your car, you will, if you got AirPods on, if you're at TJ Maxx, if you're at the grocery store, if you're mowing the lawn, if you're planting flowers, whatever you're doing, you don't have to stop and switch to an app. You don't have to hope the app keeps working. You don't have to download the app. That was my downfall for so long. I never even knew that I could listen to anything on the SiriusXM app. I didn't even know what it meant. I was so clueless about that. So I thought I had to be in my car listening at 11 a.m. in Texas, or the replay at 5 or at 7 in the morning, which I was already at school by then when I was a teacher for 5 years. So I was never going to hear it, but I'm so thankful I finally figured out the app, because now I can be at home and just listen to it on 102, which I think just has, I don't want to say a stronger signal, but I mean, it's in everyone's car. It's just going to be easier. It's seamless. It's almost like back in the day when all the good shows were on Thursday night, NBC, and if you liked this show at 7, then you watched this show at 7:30. If you like that show, it led you to the big show at 8 o'clock. I mean, it just leads you into all those good things, right? Oh, somebody says, where is Alyssa? I think, Christina, I think she's on vacation because she just did a week in New York. She was probably working overtime doing that Andy Cohen. Oh shit, what do they call it? Andy Cohen Theater? What is that? What they call it? Radio Andy Theater, the thing that they did where they reenacted Vanderpump Rules. And a couple of people told me y'all were there. I think Zuba was there. Other people were there too. Yeah, a stronger presence like Howard 100. So Howard Stern has Channel 100 and then Channel 101. That is the replays and the whatever. But see, that's on the regular Sirius XM. It wasn't on this app thing, Channel 789. Or if you have a fancy brand new car, then 789 is on your digital radio. If you have like a 2023 Town Hall, Tiffany Chump, that's what it was called. Thank you. Shout out. Anyways, oh, that's an interesting question. K-Boo, well, that's a good question. Will you change your name back to Jeff Lewis Obsessed? No. Sarah from Texas was a long plan. Somebody had been trying to convince me to do that like last summer. And they were all taken. So I didn't know to look at like Sarah from Texas, Sarah dot from Sarah underscore from Texas. So now all I did was on the ones that I had to, I just added the word podcast to it, and then it made it work. But when I announced on January 8th or so, when I came on in my pajamas and said, I'm going to start a podcast called Sarah from Texas, just makes sense, right? It's too confusing it's bad enough that I call this show Reality Water Cooler, right? Not bad enough. I love it, but it just needs to be all one name instead of Sarah from Texas, Jeff Lewis Obsessed, Reality Water Cooler, just easier. You know what I mean? And even Jeff and I talked about that last night, my name change. And, he's definitely thought it was great to branch out, to grow. He thought it was super good. So anyways, it was good. Yeah. That's what we call you, Sarah from Texas. Thank you, Tiffany Chump. And I call y'all friends. I really do. I have such a good phone history with y'all, DM conversations. I've met so many of you in person. I love chatting with y'all. And so, when the shit hits the fan, a lot of you question some things, rightfully so, and wish that I'd have been more honest with you about everything that I was going through, but it was so much. It was not the right time and place. And I will never throw people under the bus unless they publicly start saying facts, and then they want all the facts brought out, because then I will absolutely show the receipts. So anyways, I would have never talked about things at a wrong, appropriate time, if that makes sense. And some things, of course, I'll never talk about. So anyways, the big announcement that Monday starting, it'll be Jeff Lewis Extended. I'm so excited for it. I think it'll be great. I think all of his chumps, all the co-hosts are going to get an even bigger. This is what MJ was talking to Stassi Schroeder during a commercial break last week, and she was trying to say this, I feel like, but Stassi was probably looking at her like, don't say this, or I don't know. And I think she was saying, look, being on channel 102 is going to bring in a bigger audience because people listen to 102 and maybe don't know about channel 789. So now people are going to have a 2-hour block that's live Monday through Friday on channel 102, Radio Andy. But also they'll probably re-air both of those shows on channel 182. And then I think 789 keeps being, why does it say my Wi-Fi is low? Is my Wi-Fi low? It's not even raining here. Anyways, hopefully everything's, oh, now it says it's all good. Is all good? Give me a thumbs up. And thank you, Melanie says, just glad to see you smile. Thank you. And I've been smiling every day. There was just some sadness and disappointment behind the smiles. Talked a lot about the gay cruises. So it sounds like, was Todrick performing this one night on the same exact cruise that Zach Noe Towers was just on? Like, I know there's 5,000 or 6,000 people, but I don't know. I guess everyone in Hollywood doesn't know everybody. I guess they can't follow everybody. So maybe Todrick and Zach Noe Towers aren't friends or don't follow each other on Instagram. They're both performers that live in Hollywood. So I guess I would think they would know if they were, or if, Zach Noe Towers would have been like, oh, Todrick performed one night on that cruise. I don't know. I guess maybe their paths clearly didn't cross. So anyways, okay. Raise your hand in comments if you are going to Madonna this year. So if you're an OG, you know that my husband surprised me with Madonna tickets last Valentine's. She was supposed to come in Houston in September, and then she almost died. Oh my gosh. Who is that? Thank you. Thank you for giving me a superstar on YouTube. Is it Kimberly? I know your real name and I cannot think of it. There's so many like Instagram and YouTube and Facebook names. Thank you so much. Grab a refreshing drink on me. Oh my gosh. I shall. Dolphins Girl says, I'm going to Madonna in Miami. Ooh, that sounds sexy. Okay. So, Kabu says, I love Madonna, but I'm not going. Treat yourself. So I went to Madonna at least once in at least 17 and up, because I know what car I drove to the Houston Summit, which is like this big, it was a basketball, whatever, a big, arena. Anyways, I think it was the Blonde Ambition, but I have no idea. I've always loved Madonna since like 6th or 7th grade. So clearly she had to reschedule her tour for Houston. So she's coming back at the end of March. So I am going there. I have heard all of her coming in 2 hours late. I am 50 years old, y'all. There's nothing I will be sitting my happy ass down. Concerts are not my absolute favorite thing. I absolutely go to them. I love more singing and dancing along with my friends. That is what I love. So that will be so much fun, but I am not looking forward to her coming in 2 hours late. That's going to be very disappointing. Very disappointing. Vicky Gumbelson and Doug Buden on tomorrow. For those in the Houston area, 2 things. Make sure you've joined the Sarah from Texas Facebook group. Wait, not just if you live in Houston. Everybody join that Facebook group. If you want a nice place to chat respectfully, Jeff Lewis and related reality TV content. If you want to be hags, pick all the other Jeff Lewis Facebook groups. Not all of them. There's one that's decent, I think. But anyways, oh, I love that. Mayboo. Y'all talking about Tina Turner? Wish I'd gone to a Tina concert. Love her. So in Houston a long time ago, Oprah Winfrey came and she had on a wig of Tina Turner, and Tina Turner actually performed, and I was in the audience for it. I think we won tickets on the radio. I think my coworker won a ticket and invited me as their guest. It was that's in like the mid-90s, y'all. That's a lot of time. Yes, a lot of people. Hamilton says a lot of people went to Madonna in New York this week. Chaz Dean was posting. I mean, if you follow Chaz Dean, for one thing, he's so inspirational, so relaxing, so positive, so amazing. But when he goes to a concert, he pretty much records the whole thing in all these different clips. So you can you can practically go to the concert by following Chaz Dean. Anyway, so I'll let you know the end of March how it is, if she comes on late, if there's an opening act, all the things. It'll be interesting to see. Oh, you met yes, you did meet Chaz. He is so nice, unbelievably nice. What? K-Boo. Sarah, are you going to any more $10,000 Jeff Lewis dinners? Honestly, Melanie is on here. She can vouch for me. I was even a little bit hesitant. I didn't initially say yes when she invited me, when she and Scott. I was like, no, no, no. I'm a fan account. That would be kind of weird. I don't want to take away from y'all's experience. But when I talked to her on the phone the next day, she sounded so cool. And I was like, oh my God, I sort of want to meet y'all. So I don't regret going to it at all. Very once in a lifetime experience. But I think once you do it, I think it's kind of done. Like, I don't think I need to do it again, but I don't know. No one's invited me to the next $10,000 dinner, so we'll see. On the after show today, Judge Lauren Lake, Ryan Bailey, they talk about what a diverse week it was. I think it's good that it didn't even dawn on any of us. It didn't even dawn on Jeff that it was a diverse week. That to me is the best kind of attitude when he's not specifically putting people on there. He talks about diversity and joking. I don't even know that one joke. That's a fine line. What do you say Jeff jokes about it? He wants to be diverse, but he didn't even think about it. Oh, I had Cynthia on. We had Todrick. We had Judge Lauren Lake on all the different after show or the Jeff Lewis live show. But anyways, they talked about that at the beginning. They talk a lot about dolphins and swimming with dolphins or not. So years ago, which spring break was this? Let me think. Was it 2020? No. Oh my God, was it 2020? I'm forgetting. It might have been 2020. We were in Cozumel the week before COVID happened, right? My husband had been warning me, like, things are going down. I think this horrific pandemic is going to hit the US. Well, we had already planned it. We were in Cozumel from like March 9th through the 13th or whatever it was. I think it was that vacation that my kids wanted to swim with the dolphins. Let me just say, if you've ever priced it, it's freaking overpriced. There is swimming with the dolphins and then like petting the dolphins are very different. One is like twice the price, whatever it was. Of course, my kids demanded to do the more expensive one. Of course, you can't take pictures yourself. You've got to buy their photo package. Of course. They were young. They underestimated that when you grab onto their fins on the dolphin, you're in the ocean, you're protected from like sharks. I think there's a mesh thing up. This is years ago, so I'm forgetting. We have the DVDs. You got to hold on to their fins. The water is the salt water of that freaking Caribbean is spraying up your nose and in your face. Oh, you were in Playa del Carmen the same time. Yes, Michelle. That was scary, right? I mean, I'm in another country and it's like they're canceling the Houston rodeo. They canceled something else big. And I was like, oh crap, this is going crazy. Okay. Hamilton, maybe you need to give Jeff a better idea of what happened because he doesn't seem to be into this at all. Hamilton said, I took my daughter to swim with the dolphins in the Keys. She loved them. She's going to be working in animal therapy. Different amounts of my kids loved it and didn't love it. I didn't personally love it. I didn't love the price for one thing. But that Blackfish documentary about the treatment, it's very eye-opening. It's alarming to say the least. But is it safe to swim with dolphins? Is it animal cruelty? I mean, I don't know. We probably have all of our opinions about it. Jeff doesn't seem into it at all, for sure. Jeff is way more conservative, especially in the water, than you would ever, than I would ever think. I ended the show though. I didn't get to finish all of it though. I took some phone calls in between and, had to do with that, and, anyways, but Jeff says at the end that Ryan Bailey is 47. I have met him at BravoCon. I met him at the pre-BravoCon party. I met him at the season 2 Hollywood House Lift party. The man looks 30 easily. I had no idea it was 47. Not that that's ancient, but I have met his amazing girlfriend, Rebecca, and I think they want kids. So that's where I ended the show. I didn't get to listen to all of it. So let me know what you think. Melanie says, I like Ryan. Me too. Me too, for sure. Yeah, he does look young, right, K-Boo? Ryan looks young. Bye, Melanie. Oh, to Melanie, be safe out there. Wait, where's Melanie going? Wait, why does she got to be safe? Yes, some people. Oh, gotta go. Stop going to SeaWorld, someone said. Yeah. So when my kids were little, I'm near Houston. San Antonio is about 3-ish hours away from us. We would alternate in the summer in August, the hottest time of the year. We would alternate SeaWorld and Fiesta, Texas, which is the Six Flags. We did that for about 3 or 4 years, and then we put in our own very expensive pool, and we're like, forget that. We're going to get some money out of this pool. But anyways, that was before all this stuff came out about SeaWorld. I mean, this is 20 years ago. So anyways, now I have a different thought about it, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, I love that. Melanie says, I just say that to people. It's a crazy world of late. Yeah, to say to be safe to somebody. Yeah. Most of y'all know that I mentor a little girl at an elementary school. So yesterday, whenever I got there, they were having a planned fire drill. So I didn't have her yet, and I used to work at this elementary school, and so I knew a lot of the people around me, and I was with a friend, and we were chatting something about security. Oh, I know what we're chatting about. Anyway, something about her child, something personal, her adult child. But that made us talk about horrific things that can happen and have happened at schools, right? You can imagine what I'm talking about. I just have to be a little bit careful with YouTube. Anyways, and I was saying, thankfully, thank goodness, this year seems to be less of those horrific things going on in the schools, right? Like terror. Anyways, we all went to SeaWorld back in the day, but now not so much. I sort of wonder, does anyone know how it's affected them as far as like financially? Do they have less employees? Are people back to going? We all know this cancel culture type phenomenon with celebrities, with whatever. I mean, Kathy Griffin, was canceled. Now she's back. She's touring. Comedians have been canceled. I think Matt Rife, who I would actually love to see in person. I want to see that jaw in person. Anyways, I think he's gone through some cancellation, whatever. I don't know. But SeaWorld, if it's canceled, is it back? Is it okay? Are they crumbling financially? I don't even know. Oh, wait, Mayboo, y'all don't really have that in the UK? Like animal type, like SeaWorlds? What's similar to SeaWorlds? Even I think I had a zoo membership when my kids were little. The longer I went to the zoo and the more documentaries I saw, I always had this weird feeling that like I didn't love the feeling of an animal being captive for me to look at it. I don't know. So I had my thoughts about that too. That's a good way to say it. No school badness. Yes, badness. That's a good way to say it, Mayboo. Yes, circuses, little sis. Circuses. I definitely took my kids to the circus when they were little. And then I remember going, ugh, this feels weird to me. I just didn't like it. Yeah. Oh, Michelle Huffman. I used to always see Matt Rife on my TikToks. That's how I learned of him, like less than a year ago. And then I looked him up and he was sold out for the next 14 months. I was like, oh, he must be big. And then I realized, oh, he's huge. They say Matt Rife live show isn't good unless it's a small venue where he interacts with, and I assume he meant the crowd. That's what I like about his videos is he's talking to the crowd and he kind of seems off scripted, I guess, like his jokes and stuff. Um, I have heard Dollywood is really good. I've never been to Dollywood. Hamilton said, I've been to Disney World in Paris. Fancy. Dollywood is one of the best places ever. What's the other place that is, our neighbors went there and loved it? Crap. It's like Mississippi. Oh, crap. Like literally, where is it? It's a whole town, not Nashville. It's a whole town of like fun and kids. Shit, that doesn't narrow it down much at all, does it? Oh, I love that, Mary. I agree. I just never heard of mentoring around here in our schools. And I hope I'm bringing awareness to that because I was an elementary school teacher for 5 years. So I knew about signing up kids that I knew needed a mentor as a teacher, but we couldn't be a mentor. I mean, I think all teachers are mentors, right? But we couldn't be a mentor because you can't be out of the classroom to go mentor a kid anyways. So when I quit, I signed up and did the training for the mentor program at our local school. But the person that started it is amazing. And she helps other school districts to start their mentoring programs. So I think a lot of them have them now. The good thing is most of them say you feel for a second grader, say you relate to a second grader, say you relate to a female or a male, say you relate to a high school student, you can put that request in. Branson, Missouri. That's what I'm talking about. Branson. Yes, I knew it. Y'all knew Branson. Wait, did you see the giant fish tank at Mandalay Bay when you were there? I don't know if we did. Oh my God. Mandalay Bay. Well, we definitely didn't have a fancy room like the Beverly Hills girls did with the fish tank in your room. We stayed at Mandalay Bay for Erica Jane's concert in August at a girls' trip. And I can't even remember if we saw the dang fish tank or not. God, things run together in my brain. Oh, no. Mabu, is being a mentor in the US like a teacher helper? No, it's very different. And I don't know how the rules have changed. My kids are now older, so most of the elementaries is where teachers allow teacher helpers. And now a lot of that has gotten a little like you got to be out of the room. It's gotten way different than when my oldest, you could like make copies for them. It was called copycat, and you signed up on a committee. You would volunteer at the carnival. You'd volunteer at so I was on the PTA, all the things. Being a mentor in the US is for us, for my thing, you allot 30 minutes a week and you play games, you talk, we walk around the whatever, people play football. They can talk about their family life. They cannot. You can talk about school. And then at the end of the year, your mentee, the little kid, and the mentor, the adult, they both fill out a private survey. They both have to agree to have the same mentor again, or the same mentor mentee. So I am on my 3rd year ever since I started being a stay-at-home mom again of having the same little girl. You can also have more than one too. I have one because at the time I was also volunteering, I think once or twice a week at a local, we called it a closet and I talked to this about somebody at Jeff Lewis's December 21st show because they're a foster parent. We have a church nearby that has an amazing closet for foster families. And I learned so much about that situation where Sunday night they could be called and said, hey, Monday morning, you're getting a 4-month-old baby boy. And they would have already given away the crib and already given away the car seat. So they could get a voucher and come to our closet with that voucher and get winter clothes in the size they need. And then when they are done with those size, they can turn that in. We would wash them and then give them the next size up of clothes. Or if that baby went back to a family member or it back to the parents, then it was out of foster care. So then they would return the I mean, we had mattresses, we had shoes, we had clothes, we had car seats, toys, books. And so I would organize the clothes and shop for people, like get them a bag. Anyways, I was doing that. So I only did the mentoring once a week, which is what I still do. Anyways, yes, I love that, Michael. I did that when my son was in school. Very important to do if you can. Another thing that's fun is go and have lunch with your kids at whatever age. Like that's always fun too. But every school has different rules on what they can't. It's 2:51, y'all. Oh my God. Okay. Didn't realize. We try to keep to 45 minutes. Anyways, we will wrap up. Thank you so much for joining live. It is way more fun. If you're on the replay crew, please make a comment. Please like, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up button. If you are listening as a podcast or you're watching on Spotify, hello, hello, hello. Make sure you give me a 5-star rating. Everything is under Sarah from Texas. I will see y'all tomorrow. I've got to go prom dress shopping again. Wish us luck that we find the dress. Bye, y'all. Thank you for being awesome.